During this portion of the Power Civil Modeler training guide, we will take a look at creating a roadway with the Power Civil Modeler tools. We'll begin in our guide on page 116 and step through a process of creating the road from storing a center line for the road as an alignment, then profiling that center line alignment and designing the new profile or proposed profile for that alignment, then creating a typical section for the road and using that typical section to define the edges of pavement and any other features such as curb and gutter that we may want to add to our roadway. So this is a kind of a typical process for creating a simple road, and hopefully by the end we'll all understand how roadways are created. So we're going to get into Power Civil, and we're going to open up our design file if we're not already in it. And of course we also want to get into our project file for Modeler. So we want to open up that particular file as well. Now the road that we're going to kind of focus our attention on is the road that wraps around in front of the building. We call that the entrance road. So the first thing I want to do is create a new object. So I'm going to go Modeler, Object, New, and I'm going to create a roadway object type. And I'll actually give it a name that I type in called Entrance Road. Now, as you can see in the view, we have the center line already there. So we want to create a alignment for that. So we're going to go to Civil Geometry, Store Graphics. So we graphically lay the alignment out. But we're going to have the graphics read into the Power Civil Geometry tools to store an alignment that has stationing and so forth. So I'm going to give it my operator code, which is my initials. I'm going to key in a job number 200. That's going to create the database for me. And I'm going to create a chain in the database. I'll give it a name, entrance. Doesn't matter. Entrin. Beginning point, number 10. Beginning station, I'll say 0 plus 0, 0. And my mode will be complex chain. So I'm going to click ID element. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the centerline road down here at the bottom. And just selected a little tiny piece there. And I'm going to data point to accept that. And what you'll see is it goes around and highlights the entire center line all the way to the end. And reading my tool prompts, it says accept the chain element in the lower left view. So I'll data point, that accepts it. And that's when the store button becomes available. I click store, and it will store this chain called entrance in job 200. So I do that, click OK. And it's created the alignment. I can check that real quick by going Civil Geometry, Coordinate Geometry, selecting my database where I stored it in there, put my initials in, click OK, and I can see indeed there's some points in there, and there's a chain called entrance, and it's got all kinds of information like beginning station information, beginning coordinate information, curve data, all that. Just read that graphic into Kogo. So now that's stored, and the next step would be to create a profile. And so that'll be what we tackle next.